Welcome back to the Crack Community. If you were ever the person who hated school or you skipped a lot of school, go ahead and hit that subscribe button that's somewhere down here. Today we're going to be talking how I went from being in the Marine Corps to a college professor. I usually tell this story on the first day of class when I tell my students about myself and we start talking about success. And my story actually begins when I was in high school. I was a terrible, terrible high school student. As a matter of fact, if you looked in the yearbook and you saw the picture of the most likely to succeed, and if there were a picture of the most likely not to succeed, that was probably me in that picture, if they had one, of course. But they don't want to put that kind of picture in the yearbook. So I was a terrible student, and I'm not proud of it, and I hate to admit it. But I was a terrible student, and I can't say it enough. I was a terrible student, yes. I was a teacher's worst nightmare. I got F's, D's, C's, and I do give myself credit. I did get some A's. I got some A's in wood shop and welding, physical education. So there are times that I did get A's, but for the most part, it was C's, D's, and F's. And I didn't fail these classes because I didn't fail it because I didn't understand the material. I failed them because I skipped school a lot. As a matter of fact, I have probably like 49 absences. I don't know if that's total. I was looking at my transcripts and it says 49 absences, but I don't know if that was total throughout my 4 years or if that was per year. And I would probably say it's per year. That sounds more like me in high school. So I was a terrible student, and I had to go to a program called CEC. That stands for Continuing Education Center. That's for people like me who don't really like going to school, and I didn't like high school, the traditional high school, because to me it felt like babysitting, and many of you might be able to relate to that. It felt like babysitting to me. It felt like I was just 80% of it was babysitting and 20% of it was actually learning something. They were always trying to manage classes and trying to manage the troublemakers, and 20% of it was actually learning. And I was probably one of the troublemakers who they were trying to keep under control. So I didn't like school. I hated high school. And again, I went to CEC. And I saw myself going down this path in life that I didn't like. In Minnesota, if you're down this certain path of C's, D's, and F's, there are a few jobs that you can get. One is welding boats. And again, these aren't bad jobs. It's just something that I didn't see myself wanting to do. Even though, again, some of these are great jobs like plumbing or electrician. These are all great jobs. They pay very well. I just didn't see myself doing it. Instead, I saw myself joining the Marine Corps, and I'll never forget, it was getting cold. It was around November, and I told my recruiter, I said, look, I want to get out of here. And the recruiter told me, you need to graduate high school in order to join. So that's what I did. I went back and I graduated. I didn't care if I got C's or B's or A's. All that I knew is I needed to get my high school diploma, and that's what I did. So it was shortly afterwards, because in CEC I could get my classes done fairly quickly. It wasn't like traditional school where you just had to do the work, pound the work out, get it done, and you're finished with that class. And I probably had 4 or 5 classes that I needed to do to get my high school diploma. So it was fairly quickly that I pounded those classes out. And I was shipped off into the Marine Corps. And in the Marine Corps is where they really pound honor, courage, commitment into your body, into your soul. And I think those are really good values that everyone should have. Honor, courage, and commitment. Honor means doing the right thing at the right time. You know, courage is, of course, having the courage to do something. And commitment is being committed, sticking with something. So after 4 years of that being pounded into my body, and again, I'm not going to go into my whole Marine Corps history. I had great times. I loved it. and I hated it. And I think anybody in the Marine Corps or any veteran or any veteran that was in the military in general will tell you that they loved it and they hated it. There were times that were absolutely phenomenal. There were times that I absolutely loved being in the Marine Corps, and then there were times that I actually hated every single minute of being in the Marine Corps. It was definitely a love-hate relationship, and I do miss it. It's an experience that I think that I'm very happy that I did, and I'm glad that I'm glad that I joined the Marine Corps. Let's just say that, because it helped make me who I am today. So I loved the Marine Corps and I hated it. That's the story. And maybe in a different video, I'll go later on into describing my experience in the Marine Corps. But after the Marine Corps, I joined college. And college is a different beast. It's a different experience. It's not 8 hours a day, and it's not the bells telling you where to go. You set your own program. But one of the things that really helped me from the Marine Corps being a great student was commitment. The latter of the three: honor, courage, commitment. Actually, maybe courage too, because it helped me get the courage to go back to school. So commitment is definitely one of the things that I try to tell students, that you should try to obtain that value of commitment. And again, you don't need to join the Marine Corps to be successful. You just have to commit yourself. You have to have the courage. So I joined school, I joined college, and I got all A's and I got a few B's. I did get one C in my 4-year degree. I got one C, but in my master's program, I got all A's besides one B. And I'm not bragging, by the way. I'm not bragging that I got a 3.82 GPA instead of a 1.7 that I got in high school. But I did graduate with a 3.82, around that area, GPA, a master's degree in rhetoric and composition, and I have a degree in literature and a 4-year degree in literature and creative writing. I did that all in about 5 years. I cruised right through. I went to summer school, winter classes. I went to spring, fall. My loads were always over, so 12 units was a full load, and I would go over that, so I was taking extra classes. I was cruising through. And one of the things that really helped me, by the way, get through school was the GI Bill. I mean, that significantly helped me. And any veteran who has used the GI Bill will tell you that it's the best thing since sliced bread. It was definitely something that helped me get through college. But the point of this is it doesn't matter where you started off at. It doesn't matter if you started off as a failure, because I consider myself, as a high school student, a failure. I barely graduated. And it doesn't matter if you started off as a failure. What matters is what you do in the future, what path you take in the future that makes you are who you are, right? And there are many paths in life. You just have to choose the right one. And sometimes the path comes later in life. Sometimes it comes earlier. Each and every person is an individual. Every individual has his or her own path in life. And my path looking back, my path was a great experience. Again, you don't have to join the military to be successful. You don't have to, you just have to recognize that you have to have courage to do something. You have to have commitment. You have to have honor. Honor yourself, honor your family. Those are important values that you should have in life. So again, this idea of success, we talk about it in school. My idea of success is different than other people's idea of success. Someone might think of money as being successful. I don't. I think of time, family, and friends as my idea of success. Those three things are what I consider success. If you have time to be with your family, that's great. A lot of people who have billions of dollars, they don't have time with their family. Now, some may say, oh, yeah, they do. Well, yeah, some do, but a lot don't, okay? So you got to figure out what is this idea of success to you? What is your notion of success? And once you figure that out, go out, be committed. Have the courage to go out and try something new and be committed to it. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. College, if you want to be the best college student, you can do it. You just got to have the courage to sign up. You have to have the commitment. If you want to be the best plumber, the best electrician, you can do it. You just have to apply yourself. Don't skip out like I did in high school. Don't skip out and don't be absent from what you want to do, what you love to do. So that's my story about success. That's my story about how I went from being in the Marine Corps to a college professor. Again, maybe in another video, I'll talk about my time in the Marine Corps, or I'll talk about my experience as a college professor. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put it in the comment section, and maybe I'll make a video out of that next. I did have one good question about my book, and my book, in case if you don't know. I wrote a book, and you can look at the video up here. If you don't know, there's a video about my book, and you can get Bitcoin if you crack the code. Right now, there's $15,000 worth of Bitcoin in the book, and again, you have to crack the code. So one of the questions was, what is the QR code on the back of the book? What does that mean? So the QR code is actually for me. When I put more money into the Bitcoin wallet for the Cracked Community wallet, the Cracked Bitcoin wallet, okay, what I do is I scan that and I upload money into the Bitcoin wallet. That's for me, or if anyone else wanted to donate to the Bitcoin wallet, there's where you would donate. But for the most part, that's for me to scan it and upload money back into the Bitcoin wallet. I don't leave anything around my house besides this book. I don't have the codes lying around my house to crack the code. This is literally what I have around my house to put money back into the Bitcoin wallet. And I'm starting to forget a few of the words, so I would have to reread it and see if I can crack the code in order to obtain the wallet. So again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave it down in the comment section, and I'll try to get to them as quickly and as soon as possible. And I hope you check out my other 2 videos that I have on my book. I think that they're very interesting. I think the whole idea of being able to get Bitcoin from reading is a great concept, so I hope you join the Cracked community and be part of the Cracked community and try cracking the code.